This Halloween, party with your favorite monsters during Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Florida. And right...
It's Halloween time, my frightful fiends, and Disneyland is ours!
Look at his hair.
Shoot, his hands.
Yo.
With bats and ghouls and cars in disguise.
Lady, I just wanted to give you the flyer.
Of pumpkin, a dash of that, a sprinkle of joy from my witch's hat.
So, Epic Universe is the next theme park at Universal Studios theme parks, and they have a very particular Porter theme park that quite intrigued me. The one and only Dark Universe. With all the hype it has given, it made me wonder, what is the future for Halloween Horror Nights? I'm sure for this year they'll continue the regular events at Universal themselves, but I feel like Dark Universe in particular was created on purpose. Like they wanted to find a true home for the iconic monsters of cinema. If so, then what is the future to Horror Nights at Universal themselves in the coming years? Well, I'm here to tell you what exactly they should do. I'm pretty sure you read the title of the video. This is an idea to turn Horror Nights at Universal Studios into a family event.
And I have the perfect one.
Now, Universal Horror Nights is a very big event. It's been going on since 1991, so every year it gets bigger and better with many different themes. Now, unfortunately, if you happen to not have a conscience and take your little ones to Horror Nights, you would know that that has been frowned upon in the fanbase community. There are many vids explaining the reason behind this, and even Universal has warned on visitors in person and online who buy tickets that the event may be too intense for young visitors, and it is not recommended for those under 13. Yet, some people bring their kids in spite of the warnings. Some believe, oh, they can take it, or oh, I had no one to watch my kids, so I had to bring them. But the truth of the matter is, no matter how you look at it, it's just not suitable. So how do we fix this? Simple. If Dark Universe is home to the famous monsters, have the event there in order to make room for the other events for young children and families. Now you're probably wondering, what can they do to make Horror Nights family oriented? Let's look at how Disney does it. If you don't bring your kids to Horror Nights, the appropriate Halloween event for young children is Disney's Not So Scary Halloween Party. There, they have parades, trick-or-treat spots, and many character meetups, while still going on your favorite rides, that is. You would think that's all they would need to do at Universal and even Islands of Adventure, right? No. Let's take it up a notch. I've been to the park a million times already with my kids, and something really bothered me of the many themings they have in Universal in particular. They actually have the appropriate themes you can use for a Horror Nights family event, actually. Let's start with Minions just to get it out of the way. I mean, come on, it's a villain movie. Minions taking over their area giving out candy to children that Gru probably made with them would be freaking hilarious. I don't understand why this is so hard to do. And being on that side enough, I can see many areas where to get candy. Along with meet and greets from your favorite Minions and the scientist cast members, because they're always fun for the kids. Honestly, I hope they get paid more for what they do. Now, enough of the Minions, because again, there's so much you can do with that, and I'm not even going to go on a whole video about why that is. But let's go ahead and get to the next theming here. Next is the new Wicked gift shop. Now, I know it just opened and the movie is getting a part 2, but oh my god, these two beautiful mascots would rule their area giving out candy and taking pictures with guests. I'll admit, I tried bringing my daughter back for a picture with Glenda, but a cast member only told me they were exclusive and they weren't even sure when they would come back. But they did tell me the Wicked shop was permanent. So this means that they can show up at any time or day depending on the season and possible events. And what a perfect time to bring them on Halloween. Also, I can picture them giving the treats after the meet and greet. It'd be so cute. Next up is E.T. Not much from this area as it's mainly taken up by DreamWorks Imagination Land, but I fear a lot of the new generation doesn't know E.T. and it is quite afraid of him, especially younger children. I've had that experience as a kid, and so did my kids. We all cried on it the first time we went on E.T., don't lie. So how do we fix that? Well, get an E.T. mascot and help him deliver candy. Also, it'd be great for meet and greets. This will give the kids an idea of who the character is and how he's friendly to many. I think if they started bringing a mascot for him, it would really bring the character back to life. And as for DreamWorks Land, it would probably just be normal trick-or-treat spots to take pictures with the characters, but also them providing them with candy, and if not them, then definitely the cast members next to them. Especially with Shrek's theming, since Shrek is considered a scary monster ogre, so I mean, he kind of fits into the theming of that. Next one is one they should have did since they opened this ride and themed for this part of the area. The Simpsons Krusty Land. / Springfield, mind you. Now come on, you've seen Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, or at least how they do Simpsons Halloween episodes every season. So the fact that they have a Kang and Kodos ride really baffles me, especially since that's a ride for younger children. I also find it very weird that the Simpson characters are hanging out at Hollywood Boulevard for meet and greets, which really doesn't make sense to me now that I look back at it. Sure, have Beetlejuice and Marilyn there, but why are the Simpsons there? I really don't understand why this was so hard to do, but maybe they had an idea for it in the beginning, but they never really followed through with the Treehouse of Horror. And that's all I'm going to say about the Simpsons, because literally they can do anything with Treehouse of Horror theming. Next up is Men in Black, also an old one, but everyone knows about it, and this would be very cool for the kids for Halloween, as we can have agents. Of course, if a cast member dresses up as an agent, they would use the initial in the first part of their name. They would be great to take pictures with the kids. They don't have to be Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones related characters, but they can at least show that they are secret agents in that area. It'd be really cool to take pictures, maybe with them holding guns or some cool alien mascots. So there you go with Men in Black. If they're not getting rid of that area anytime soon, they can still do something exclusive for Halloween for it every year. The Mummy is also pretty explanatory, but I don't know a lot of kids that actually watch The Mummy, or at least been able to fit the 48-inch height requirement for the ride. But let's just say that you want to ride the ride, but your kid is too small for it. Well, you get your cast members to dress up like one of the characters from the movie. You know, like Rick, Eevee, Emotep, you know, just those type of characters. Like literally, you can dress characters up like Egyptian or explorers and make them take pictures and give out candy to the kids. Nothing too hard, keep it simple, you know, make them act out those characters, and there you go. Something for the kids to still trick or treat if they can't go on their favorite ride. Of course, you got places like the SpongeBob gift shop, which they already do mascots enough unless you want to add something related to the Flying Dutchman. And of course, Transformers, which they always bring Megatron as a mascot, and he's always roasting people, so that's always fun. Harry Potter's Diagon Alley is also another place to really get kids in the mood for Halloween, as they have many shops where they can use their wands. So really, Harry Potter doesn't need to be changed. If anything, it really does give out the theme that it's giving. So if anything, just some more trick-or-treat spots for mascots for meet and greet. Nothing really needs to change with Harry Potter. Now, I've saved the very best for last, and I've heard many YouTubers on here try to create an area for the old Blue Man Group building, which was prior to the Nickelodeon Studios building. So I thought about this a lot, of what should be there. Originally, the Grinch shows were always done there every year for Christmas, and they're nice, but hear me out a little bit, because I don't think anyone had this idea. I just literally thought of this idea when I saw these characters because they're always freaking there. Back in the 90s, Universal had the rights to use the Hanna-Barbera characters for a ride. It was called The Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera. It was a really fun ride, and many kids from the 90s used to go on this ride. I actually went on this ride too as a kid. Most children knew of the Hanna-Barbera characters, but over time, the ride did started to become unfamiliar to the newer generation. So they replaced it. It was replaced with Jimmy Neutron's Nickelodeon Blast and eventually Minions. However, with them getting rid of all the Hanna-Barbera characters over time, there was one they didn't get rid of. And I was still surprised to see them at the park. Those meddling kids, the Scooby-Doo gang. I've seen them every time I'm at the park. My kids love them. Well, mainly because they've seen the movie Scoob, but also they really don't have an area they can call home. They're always hanging out in Hollywood Boulevard, and they drive an actual mystery machine. They have no meet and greet place to call home, and I think that's really sad. However, I do think there is faith for them. An actual haunted house walkthrough would definitely be great to replace the Blue Man Group building, because it's not being used. The only time it's being used, once again, is for the Grinch shows, which is a holiday event, mind you. So imagine them changing it into a haunted house just so that the Scooby-Doo and the gang have an event for that. And since Universal is notorious for making haunted house walkthroughs, this would be very good for kids for Halloween for Scooby-Doo. I mean, imagine walking through a crazy mirror room inside the haunted house, or going through a door maze like in the show. I would love to see the iconic monsters like Geronimo or the Phantom or even the Creeper. And once again, it would be great for kids to go trick-or-treating. Have the Scooby-Doo gang give out candy, or even the monsters. That'd be really fun. But the whole point is not to scare the children. It's just for them to find the silliness in the event. You can all solve mysteries together while trick-or-treating. I can also see them selling merch inside one of the haunted houses, like a little gift shop inside of it. Because I have seen Scooby-Doo merchandise still being sold, but it's mainly near the front gate or even in the security aisle. So clearly there's still heart for Scooby-Doo out there. I don't know if they just don't know what to do with it anymore, or they're just keeping it until contract. I don't know, but they clearly still have a love for it. And they just need to spice things up a little bit. I could just see them giving the building a maintenance before Halloween. That building has been pretty much dead for the past decade, and remember, Blue Man Group isn't coming back. So basically what I'm saying is create a theme home for the Scooby-Doo gang. That way, it's cool to know where their hangout spot is. They don't need a new ride. They don't need some very cool attraction. They just need a haunted house. You could take pictures with them. They'll give out the candy and they'll try to convince you to go to their haunted house to go solve mysteries. I remember watching the Scooby-Doo movie, and I remember that scene when they got trapped inside this haunted house with like all these types of rides and stuff that's supposed to scare the guests. And I thought, wow, Scooby-Doo could have had this. Now, I heard in another country they made a ride similar to that scene, but again, you know, this is in another country somewhere, so I don't really know too much detail on it. But it was like, why didn't we get that first, you know? But my favorite scene in that was when Scooby and Shaggy were stuck in the kitchen getting mauled by food. I'm just saying, they still have a shot while kids remember though. Take advantage of it. Put in the money a little bit. At this point, I'm starting to realize that Universal is really taking risks when it comes to ideas and theming. And I really want to see what else they have to offer. Disney is going through a period. I don't know what the future of Disney is, but I kind of stopped caring since they're not taking anyone's ideas right now. So with that being said, I'm just making room for where my kids will actually have fun. When I went into making this video, I really had no idea why I did it. It was just an idea I had because the theming is at Universal seems a little outdated and it really bothered me. So I was just like, why don't I just give a few of my ideas of what I think should change? I'm seeing a lot of people on here making ideas of what should be added to the park, what shouldn't be added, mainly to Epic Universe because it's new, but I'm looking back at the theme parks I actually grew up with and what should change because it was really great of its time. But it is getting a little bit outdated, and I don't want Epic Universe to outshine our older parks. I want everything to kind of have a balance, especially with Islands of Adventure, because if anything, Islands of Adventure is the most outdated, but yet it's still very fun to go to. All I'm saying is that I want to just see a bit of change in order to make them even more special every year, because there's something clearly there with these themes. And I want to see more of it. If anyone else in the comments has ideas of what should be added to Universal specifically, please let me know, because honestly, any idea sounds great about now for Universal. Maybe in the future I'll do another YouTube channel just specifically talking about Universal theme park, or any park for that matter, but for right now, this is the idea I had. I just wanted to share it. I'm pretty sure all of you had other ideas like this, but this one I've been holding in for a long time, and I think Universal needs to do this. Thank you again, and like and subscribe.